So I've hit live streaming. Hi folks, welcome back to another episode here at the writing desk. This is kind of a spontaneous thing. I didn't really plan on going live, but I thought, man, I've got an hour and a half before I absolutely have to leave for work. So, why don't I just get up here and spend a minute or two with you guys. I should have probably renamed this stream. But part of the reason why I wanted to get on the live stream was that yesterday, I'm most likely, this is what happens when you spontaneously jump in. I didn't open the chats, I didn't do anything. Oh, what's going on? That's not what I want. Super chat? No. Okay, live chat. How do I pop this out again? Done. There we go. Pop out chat. It's like I haven't done this in a while. Hasn't been that long. Okay, there we go. Alright, and I should probably just let the Discord know that we are live, because I keep telling them that I'm going to update them there. If you are new to this channel and you enjoy penmanship, then you can join our Discord channel down in the link below. You will see that there is a invitation link to our Discord channel, and you can be a part of that. At everyone, I'm live. Bam. Okay. Alright, so I did that. So, because I understand that YouTube is very poor at notifying subscribers that you're live. So the Discord is another way for me to let you know that, hey, I'm live. You can come check out what we're doing. It's not all that exciting, but I think that you guys appreciate it. We've been getting good feedback. So I'm going to make a longer video about this, but if maybe some of you have noticed, I know my brother's noticed, he commented on the other video, but we're now over 1,000 subscribers, and that in and of itself is really impressive. I don't know why. I'm seeing in the analytics that the older videos are becoming, well, maybe not more popular, but they're at a sustainable rate of popularity where people are watching the videos and new people are coming to watch the videos, assumingly, and we're getting comments still on those videos. So it's really good to see that this older, the time that I spent on the older videos hasn't gone to waste in any sort of way, that it is appreciated and enjoyed. And I think some people have found them helpful. You know, my goal with this channel... Hi Micah, thanks for joining us today. I'm going through my thank you to the 1,000 subscriber mark. It's I'm going to do an official video on it, but I thought while I'm here on the live stream for a moment, I would share my appreciation with whoever's listening. But it is surprising to me that so many people have continued to watch the old videos. You know, I've stopped promoting altogether the YouTube channel. It's available on the video series is available on my website, but I don't actively try to get people to come and watch the YouTube anymore. So everything that's happening is all thanks to people having inquiries and using the search function or YouTube recommendations, and that's how new people are finding the channel and still asking questions. So it's just kind of surprising to me that the channel has continued to grow even though I've been less active. And the other thing is that we're on the mark. Thanks, Micah. Yeah, happy 1,000. Yeah, it's a surprise. I mean, I see some other channels that have a few thousand subscribers, but they've been around a lot longer, and I figured it would be slower growth. But if you think about it, let's see, it was January or February of 2018, so we are about a year and a half into the channel. And well, I'm happy that at least I am still making videos in the form of live streams. That is much more suited with my schedule at the moment. I actually intended to come on last night because it was a Friday night, and my girlfriend and I were not going to hang out. We were, well, long story short, yesterday I had to drive. I think I drove a total of 6 hours yesterday, and it was just a really long day. So I was going to go home. Well, I did go home and relax, and then the idea was to get on the live stream for a bit, do this whole thing, and then go to bed because I actually have to go to work again today. So I'll be heading back out there in an hour and a half. But yeah, I wanted to live stream yesterday, and I didn't feel up to it at the end of the day. After 6 hours of driving, I thought, oh man, I can't. So I just pulled out the bed and went straight to sleep. But I'm here now. And then the other thing was I was thinking about ways to make some videos, because I've had some people asking me about a few things in the realm of penmanship, and I thought maybe I could start using the facilities at the school to make some videos, because I do work on a university campus, so I thought maybe I could take advantage of that. But I haven't figured anything out officially. So, but I thought it might be a good idea, because one of them was asking me how do they apply whole arm writing if they're taking notes in class and they don't have enough space, a big table in front of them. And so I kind of wanted to make a video demonstrating on some small tables and with some thicker notebooks how you would go about practicing whole arm movement or using whole arm movement to take notes in class. So I've been wanting to do that. So I'm thinking I'm going to use the campus facilities a little bit. everything okay? You took notes on a smaller desk when you were in high school. Yeah, we're in school. Yeah, and in our college campus we had. Let's see if I could adjust the camera a little. We had like in our auditoriums, we had those desks that they were small. It was a huge auditorium, so it was just a little table side that you pulled out from the side of the chair and it flipped out in front of you. So it was a really small writing area. But it does have on it, it's kind of shaped so that it has a spot for your arm to rest on. So I imagine if you have one of those desks, one of those little side tables, you should be able to use whole arm movement fairly easily. I remember in high school the desks were a little bit different. Sometimes you'd have those big forward-facing desks, which are also just fine for using whole arm movement also. So it's possible. The only thing that I find more difficult to deal with is the thickness of a notebook. So if you have a notebook and you're not using flat sheets of paper, that thickness can get in the way of your movement. And so sometimes when that happens, I tend to use a little bit more finger movement, and then I let the wrist area kind of under the hand here rest on the notebook. And then there's just some small amount of movements that come from the arm. Like I said, I want to make a video where I can show you and demonstrate these things and from different angles that are more useful than this here. Obviously this isn't that useful to seeing how the movement's happening, but I also wanted to zoom in the camera. Maybe we can zoom in just a little bit. I don't even know if the camera's in focus right now, but is it in focus? I can't really tell. Yes, it is. It's autofocusing. Okay. Sorry, I was just making some adjustments there. Adjustments are over. I'm just going to write now. One thing that I've noticed is that with my entry strokes, that stroke tends to be longer than it needs to be. So Micah, how's your ambidextrous writing coming along? I know you switched over to your right hand as your dominant hand. Is that right? I had somebody recently email me, a student in Texas, asking me to give, I guess they're doing some research paper on ambidexterity, and they're reaching out to me as an expert on this. Kind of funny to think about. But one of their questions was if there are any other people I know who could talk about ambidexterity. I was wondering, Micah, if you would be interested in that. I'll send you a private message on Discord about it, but maybe you would be interested in offering a response to some of their questions on ambidexterity. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about beginning to develop the opposite hand is that it takes years. It takes a long time and even myself, after having practiced for 7 years, it still does not come as fluidly as you might imagine it would, or sometimes even when it looks good and the execution is smooth, it still doesn't feel that good. There's still some awkwardness and tension tied to the movement. And I think most of that just has to do with the fact that, well, that hand in perspective, say if I started writing when I was 5 years old, that hand is only 12, right? And the handwriting of a 12-year-old is still not the greatest. Well, sometimes it's nice, but let's see. I want to write with my left hand. And I've also noticed that the drills in general don't always reflect your writing. I use the drills mainly as an opportunity to kind of warm up the muscles, find my position, feel the pen in that hand again. There are some little things that are different too about the form of the left hand here, that just intuitively it wants to do this. And sometimes I feel like the left hand might have better form, and so I try to apply those little things to the right hand. I never seem to succeed. I think the biggest struggle I have with the left hand is getting the right hand to cooperate as well as the left hand does for the right, like moving the paper around and having the right position of the paper and all that stuff. So let's see. Oh, today is May 4th, huh? We're about to see May the 4th all over Instagram. Is everything in frame? No, it's not. Let's see if we can get stuff in frame. All the overturned letters kept me with my left hand. That rotation for some reason is harder. It's better. Am I a Star Wars fan? I can't say that I'm a Star Wars fan, to be honest. I enjoy the movies. I enjoy the original first 3 movies much more than I've enjoyed the later movies. And as far as watching movies go, I can't do the action thing. Like the long action scenes with all the shooting and explosions, they bore me. And then the other thing is I just find it a bombardment on my senses. I don't watch much TV in general, and so when I do sit down for television, it kind of makes me feel a little bit icky. That's the best way to describe it. I have a distaste to watching, and it's not all kinds of television, because I enjoy documentaries and maybe just slower paced things, but most mainstream movies, they just make me feel really, really strange inside. I don't know. I think it has to do with the action and like the loud noises. They don't make me feel good, so I don't end up watching a lot of movies. And then my girlfriend can't stay awake through any movie. I don't know how many times she's like, let's have a movie night, and it's like 8:30. Next thing you know, it's like she's asleep by 9 or something. So we don't end up watching much movies, but I do enjoy documentaries. You know what show I've been watching a lot of is Anthony Bourdain's show on Netflix. What is it called? I don't even know what it's called. Anthony Bourdain is good though. I really enjoy learning about these cultures and how people live their lives, and then the food as well, all these different kinds of food. I find myself eating a lot more if I'm watching Anthony Bourdain in a day. I'll eat a lot more that day for some reason. I don't know if those two are directly correlated or if it's my imagination, but as far as the left-handed writing goes, I was talking to David Grimes, and he shared an article on Twitter. We were talking about it, about how this idea of intermanual, it's really a phenomena that as you begin to train your dominant hand, your non-dominant hand, you begin to train that one, your dominant hand becomes better at a given task, and how the transfer of skill goes. Usually it's one way. So in my case, my dominant hand benefits from practicing the non-dominant hand, but the left hand isn't getting better because I'm practicing the right hand. So using the left hand as kind of like a warm-up tactic, I don't know, maybe you would find this beneficial, Micah, and maybe beginning to notice if you warm up writing backwards with your left hand, is that going to transfer over to your right hand in any way? You might want to experiment and see if there's any benefit in a certain direction if you're working with your right hand. Yeah, just I would experiment a little bit, kind of mirroring. I find that if you do the exact same motion, so for example, writing in a mirrored fashion, I'm using the exact same form, just backwards, that the transfer of skill is a little bit more dramatic versus me writing forward with the left hand, and then trying to see if that's going to benefit me writing forward with the right hand. Usually the benefit I don't feel is as prominent going that way because the form is very different. But yeah, he had shared an article with me that talked about a study that they did with different age groups, and where I had seen it was that they're using it with, and I've talked about this in other videos, but they're using it with surgeons. To develop a steadier hand more quickly. Yeah, I feel my left hand is very rusty right now. I have not been practicing it as often. Time is it? Okay. Alright, we got about 10 more minutes and then I'm going to have to shut down here. But What do you think of that C with the mark? I sent off a pen. My Visconti, I sent it off to, I think his name is John over at nibs.com. I asked him to grind that point down to an extra fine. The one I had was a medium, so I would like that pen. So I've been waiting on that pen to come back, and I kind of want it to be my go-to pen. I use my Lamy 2000 on a daily basis at work and stuff, but I've actually, last week, I had this time where I left it in my office at work, and that freaked me out because I wasn't sure where I had left it, and then I had thought like, it must be in my office at work, and I have a closed office, so no one can go in my office, but I was really worried about it. So then this week I didn't take my fountain pen to work because I didn't want to leave it in the office again. But I did find it. It was in the office. So it's here now. I've been coming home late a lot this week. This has been a really crazy week, and this whole next month and a half is really crazy for us at the museum. We have a lot going on. So actually, I'm not required to write a ton by hand. I usually just write by hand for notes. And then when I do stuff inside the museum and working with the collection, I have to use a pencil because we don't want to say I drop the pen or I drop the pencil or something. You don't want to get any marks on any objects by accident. And with a pencil, you can at least potentially erase things if need be. But we don't usually bring pens inside the vault, or we try not to bring pens into the galleries at all because ink is just more difficult to clean if we ever do need to clean something. So we try to avoid it altogether. So we just use pencils. But yeah, I do write with them. I've been writing with them less. Last year I had made the vow that I was not going to buy any pens, and so I didn't buy any pens. And then this year I thought, okay, I'm going to buy one fountain pen now. And then instead I decided, well, I'm just going to have the Visconti reground to an extra fine point, and that'll be like my new pen, because it's going to cost me, it's going to almost be $100 to just regrind that pen. So I'm thinking like that's my new pen for the year, and then I'll just wait till the next year if I want a new one. There are a few pens that have been in my interest. I really like the way that Opus 88 looks, the demonstrator version. I think they have a few different colors now, but I like the clear one best. So I've been considering that one. But the thing is, I've already got so many fountain pens, and I don't even have the time to write with all of them. So, and then most of my writing is done with this thing. So I don't know if I should really invest in a fountain pen. The only one that I really is kind of like a grail pen for me is the Classic Pens. I think it's called Classic Pens LB something. Man, I gotta get the name right on that one. But I think it is a Classic Pen. I think that's the brand, Classic Pens. And I saw recently Dr. Joseph Vitolo had posted some images of that pen. But that is just such a gorgeous pen. Maybe that'll be a pen of mine in a few years. Right now, I'm trying to focus my finances in getting, yeah, that's it, LB5, that's the one. And I think I would like to get it in a a green, because I don't have any. Well, I gave away the Coeco. That was my only green pen, so I would like a green pen, and that is such a beautiful green pen. So that's my Grail pen. So maybe one day I'll drop the cash on that one, because that is a pretty expensive pen. But I really need to focus my finances on paying off my school loans. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. If I can get rid of the school loans ASAP and keep my car running for another 5 years, I should be good. Okay, I'm gonna have to close it up here. Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you a message on Discord, or you can send me a direct message on there, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm totally game for that. Looks like the camera's been zooming in slowly here. I have a really heavy lens on this camera, and there's no lock on it, so it'll actually zoom in if I don't tape it. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Yeah, if you're watching this on the repeat and not live, go ahead, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you got planned for this weekend. What's exciting in your life? You've got any progress, any milestones that you've reached in your penmanship practice. If you're somebody who's newer to the channel and you've just recently subscribed and you're wondering what's going on, this is what usually goes on. We're doing live streams, so I hope you'll catch one of these in the future. So thanks so much for tuning in once again, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great Saturday, everyone, and I might even be back tomorrow. We'll see what's up. Okay, bye everyone.